What's up guys, this is your head coach Kuya for Smash Ultimate, and for today's class I'm going to teach you how to beat Samus and Incineroar. This will be a general guide on how to beat common pain point characters. If you want to see tips against a certain character, please let me know in the comments below. So for today's schedule, we're going to go over our preface. We're going to go over Samus' strengths and tips against Samus, then Incineroar strengths, then tips against Incineroar. All right. The first thing that I want to address is that when we're talking about quote annoying characters, um, please turn your negative emotions about a character into something more positive and more constructive, because these can be an opportunity for you to learn and grow in the game. If you see yourself struggling in a matchup, that is the perfect time for you to level up your game. That's why I'd say, like, hey, if there's someone that's giving you a lot of like difficulties while you're playing, please leave it in the comments so I can make a class about it. And also, if you happen to play Samus or Incineroar, please understand that someone in the world is gonna find your main annoying, no matter what it is or no matter who it is. So it's more important to just focus on improving yourself rather than being worried about what others may say about your character. And as a coach, I've seen people complain about every single character in this game. So don't feel discouraged if you play any of these characters that I cover in this series. With that being said, let's start off with Samus. Her strengths include that she has an excellent variety of projectiles. She has one of the best charge shots in the game. She has two unique missiles. One is homing and one flies straight, but it's pretty fast. And she has those mini bombs that I'm sure you all are very well aware about. Next is that she has very excellent survivability. She is the 10th heaviest character in the game, which means it takes a lot of damage for her to get knocked off stage. And she has amazing recovery routes, so she has a really good up B. She has her down Bs to help stall her recovery. She also has her tether, so she could tether to the ledge if she pleases. So she has a lot of options there. She has amazing, excellent Defensive options. She has a frame 4 up B out of shield, which is extremely fast. She has amazing anti-air aerials like her fair and up air. So if you're trying to jump at her predictably, she could just burn you with forward air or drill kick you with up air. And she has a tether grab, which I think is a positive. Some people might think it's a bad thing, but I think having that extra range on her grab, considering her full kit, makes it really difficult to approach her. And it's a really good defensive option just because like she kind of like react to how, if your opponent like runs up shields or like they're running at you and you like showcase your charge shot and they shield the charge shot because they're scared of it, Samus can just cancel the charge shot and grab instead. So yeah, all these three things are amazing for Samus. And there's not much difference between Samus and Dark Samus. Like there are a couple differences, but I don't think it's that significant. So if you have a problem with Dark Samus, you have a problem with Samus. So tip number one to beat Samus is to do a lot of corner pressure. A lot of Samus players camp from the corner and set up charge shot or missiles. I'm sure you've played against people that would run to this side and just spam projectiles. But because of this, because they're choosing to position themselves on the edge here, they're easier pressured due to their lack of land. So because of that information, if they're sitting on the corner, you want to start closing your gap a little bit. And once you get close enough, they'll most likely show their escape option to get past you to the other corner. So they'll probably do like a roll, they might jump, they might attack, etc. If you could identify what they do to escape the corner, read the escape, bait it out, and then punish it. So in this clip, on the first part, you're going to see me doing corner pressure with like Yoshi eggs. And then once I identify the escape option, I could punish it. So I'll let you figure out what the escape option is. There we go. So look, she can't really do anything because I'm just not letting her play the game with her projectiles. And when she recognizes that, she tries to roll away. And okay, I'll be honest, I whiffed the forward tilt, but because I'm fast enough, I was able. I read it too. Look, I read the roll in. I know that her escape option is rolling, but the distance was I undershot it. But because I have enough time, and she went for a grab here, my forward tilt wins, and I get my punish. So that's tip number 1, to corner pressure the Samus because they don't have that much land to work with. Tip number 2 is can't down B for free. Sorry. Tip number 2 is they can't down B for free. If you hit a Samus in the air, the Samus will most likely down B, where they turn into a really small ball, and then they drop a little bomb, and it just becomes really difficult to hit them. If the Samus does do a down B, do not jump into the bomb. This is what they want you to do, and you're taking like 10% damage for free. Instead, I want you to recognize where Samus wants to land and then punish that landing instead of trying to punish them right in the air. This is a lot easier because Samus has a pretty slow fall speed. She's pretty floaty, so tracing their landing option is a piece of cake. So notice how the Samus is trying to down B a lot, and I punish it. And okay, it's not flashy. I'm just waiting on the ground with up tilts and I'm shielding the bomb. But I went from 52% to 97% just because of this tip. So I got 40% for that. And all I'm doing is I'm waiting for her landing. I'm not doing anything else that's special. And even here, like right here, they're still doing down B. And I know that she wants to hit me so bad, so I get a clean parry into another punish. I probably could have took the stock with a forward smash, but it's okay. And the last tip that I have for you is to adjust your approach. So if Samus wants to blast you with like a charge shot or a missile, she kind of has to predict how you'll approach. And the main 3 ways that you would approach from is like from full hop height, which is like up here, short hop height, which is like right here, and then from the ground, which is clearly on the ground. We need you to mix up how you approach the Samus. And if you could mix up how you approach, like one time you go for like a full hop approach, next time you try to approach from the ground, it forces Samus to guess how you're going to approach. And if she guesses wrong, you get a punish. So I'll play the clip here. It was pretty quick, but so I'm Yoshi. I'm right here, and I'm kind of priming that I'm gonna approach from the sky. I'm kind of priming that. If I scoot up a bit, I have center stage, going back to tip 1. She thinks I'm gonna jump into it. She thinks I'm gonna short hop near her. But because I am a coach, I just run straight. She's trying to shoot me where if I were to like short hop into her predictably like this, I would have got hit by this. But instead I zip underneath and I'm prepping my nair to be right underneath the ball. And because of this opening, I get a free stock. Because of that kind of like approach adjustment. And a quick bonus tip, I know not every character has this, but if you do have access to a reflector or something that can nullify Samus's projectiles, like Steve blocks or a Duck Hunt can do that, or Pac-Man's like Pellet, it makes the Samus matchup a lot easier because you're basically negating Samus's main game plan, which is using her projectiles. Next up, we have Incineroar. Some strengths about Incineroar is that he is surprisingly or has surprisingly great frame data on some normals. So you have a frame 5 Nair, and you have an auto cancelable short hop up air. So you can just spam up airs with short hops. He has really strong like damage output and just raw power in general with most of his moves. Down tilt and down throw are really great combo starters for him. So you do like down throw to like 2 up airs and you're like 39% or something and you're in a juggle position. Same thing with down tilt where like down tilt is a great combo starter into anything. And he also has access to a very unique mechanic called revenge. So basically it's a counter, but instead of doing like a set amount of damage back, you actually kind of like absorb it and you buff your next move if you land it. The the what's the name? The equation for figuring out like the damage boost for revenge it would be this 0.075 times d plus 1.5, where d is for the damage dealt. Um, this is applied to whatever move you just revenged, and then the move that you hit them with is amplified by that amount. And another scary thing is that you could stack these revenge, so you could stack more and more multipliers onto one really big hit. I've seen crazy situations where, um, someone's charging a forward smash, Incineroar counters it, and now your forward air does 50%. Like that's how fun of a mechanic this is. But it definitely does create very scary situations when you're playing against this guy. The first tip that I have against Incineroar, it shouldn't be that much. It's a no-brainer, but you need to edgeguard this guy. Incineroar's recovery routes are very simple, so his up B goes straight up, and side B goes in a very straight horizontal line. Because of this knowledge, it's pretty easy to intercept because of how limited his recovery is. But I would still be cautious not to get hit by any of these special moves, just because up B can spike you and side B can quickly reversal you if he grabs you. So just watch out for that. If you have any disjointed hitboxes, or you have good spacing, or even if you have like a projectile to kind of harass him off stage, that makes this a lot easier. So here's a clip of edgeguarding Incineroar as Incineroar. He's going low, called it out. Yeah, just do that. This is really fun. Very exploitable recovery, and if you could tell like where they want to go, it gets pretty easy. Right, the second tip I have is to memorize their side B distance. Incineroar loves side B. I think it's called a low and whip. Every Incineroar will use that move, and most will just use it like a burst option to punish shielding. Think of it like how Ganon would use his side B. It's kind of like in a similar vein of moves. If you know their side B habit, like when they want to do side B, you could avoid it with your movement options or dodging, and it forces Incineroar into a really bad position, or not even bad, just like a more awkward position, just because there is a bit of end lag when they whiff it. With this knowledge, if you are able to make them miss side B, you can, or you get a punish if you position yourself in a way where they whiff it, but they do like a little stall at the end. And you could also just attack from a different angle while avoiding the grab hitbox. So like you could try to hit him, bonk him on his head, or just avoiding like his arm reach. Or you just outrange him if you have a sword. Alright, and the last tip that I have for Incineroar is tip number 3, the poor movement speed. So I'll just throw a couple numbers at you. Incineroar has the 9th worst airspeed. Incineroar has below average air acceleration. He has the slowest run speed in the entire game. He has the 11th worst initial dash speed. He has below average jump heights with full hop and short hop. He does have some good fall speed though and good weight. I'll give him that. But because of all of these poor movement stats stacked on him, He's very easy to outmaneuver and really easy to outspeed this cat, and it forces Incineroar to rely on stage control and the opponent making a lot of mistakes to find his openings. But in the clip here, you could see me easily like outmaneuver and kind of overwhelm him. So yeah, it's like right here, the outmaneuvering here, and I'm Yoshi, I get it. There's a little bit of a entitlement here. But after this hit here, I could easily just jump away and he cannot chase me. He is just unable to chase me, and now I'm kind of like kiting him. I'm right under him, and this is a very predictable like he's swinging a forward air when I'm over here. He's swinging at my after image. That's how fast I am. And I get my combo. So if you ever play against an Incineroar, abuse their poor movement speed. And yeah, I hope you learned a lot about playing against Samus and Incineroar. Again, if you have any comments, questions, or if you want to see a specific character for this series, please let me know. And I hope to see you again next week. Bye-bye.